Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whether you guys are listening from. Welcome to the live. Hey, Kristen. Y'all like the live for me as you enter, please. First live, a lot of first live people. Welcome. I'm from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Never been there. Yeah, never been there. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I mostly want to see what comes up just in the energy. But I do want to tell y'all this for whoever this is for. I was gonna say before a video, but I changed my mind. Someone was basically given the opportunity to hit that stage. So this is not like about relationships. It could be about relationships for some of y'all, but that's not what I picked up. If you ever heard this, if you ever saw that clip of Trina, when Trina said you had an opportunity to hit that stage and you didn't want to hit that stage, and she basically was just telling this girl you had an opportunity to prove yourself and prove that you are somebody and prove that you are who you say that you are, and you did not do that. So that's basically what I'm getting. Somebody had the opportunity to prove themselves. Whoever this person was, they spoke down on you to make themselves feel better. They said things about you. It doesn't matter what they said. It's not really relevant, but they said things about you to lessen your importance, to try to humble you, and to try to make themselves feel better in front of other people. They down talked you a lot in front of other people, and they basically made themselves feel like, or at least spoke about themselves like they were just the queen and they could just do this and they could just do that, or whatever the case may be. So God was like, okay, you want to talk down on this person? Show everybody who you are. Who are you? You're this great person. You this queen, you this king. You say you got it like that. You looked at what this person was doing and you said, oh, that's easy. That's nothing. Anybody can do it. And it could have been like that for a lot of you. They looked at what you were doing and felt like what you were doing was easy or mediocre or anybody could do it. They were given the opportunity to do what you do and fumbled and embarrassed themselves. That's why you got to be quiet. Don't say too much. Somebody who really, 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 most of the time, I'll probably say like 99% of the time, somebody who really embodies something is just going to do just that. They're just going to embody it. They're not going to say too much. There's nothing much to say. And earlier this morning, I was thinking about this quote I saw a long time ago that said, the fruit is always going to speak for itself, right? And the fruit spoke. So when it comes to you, see, I need to change the title. When it comes to you, whoever's watching this, whoever resonates with this, you didn't say too much. You didn't do too much. I feel like you're never the type of person who does too much. Because you are the type of person, you want your actions to speak for you. And I feel like you're also like this with other people. You don't like talkers. You don't like people who talk too much. You like to see people actually do something, actually like take action, actually execute. That's what you like. And you like people like that because that is who you are. All that talking is just not necessary. So I feel like the fruit spoke. And that's just all it is to it. The fruit spoke. And they had an opportunity and basically embarrassed themselves. That's basically what I was getting. I was going to save that for a video, but I just felt like I didn't have much to say about it. That's just pretty much it. I feel like something else I can say, and I hate that this is kind of like the topic. Pause. Y'all like the live for me. It's like 200 of y'all in here. Y'all like the live. Anywho, I feel like, I'm not gonna say it's not all about you, but what I'm picking up a couple different things, and I want to say one of them for a video, but also talk about it now. But I feel like within the next couple weeks, it's going to be like a small period of time where we're going to collectively witness a lot of people have a fall from grace. And it's going to be back to back to back to back to back. You're going to see it on a grand scale. You're going to see it in your communities. You're going to see it in your household. You're going to see it like it's going to be levels to the people who are falling from grace. It's going to happen for like a couple of weeks. And right after that, that is when this something's going to fall into your lap. Some opportunity is going to come to you. A blessing is going to come to you. Something that you've been waiting for is going to come to you. I feel like during this time period, a lot of people are going to be tested. So you may be tested as far as how you react to seeing certain people get their karma. You may be tested as far as who you accept back into your life. You're going to see people come back into your life or attempt to come back into your life. Some of those people are meant to be there. Some of those people are not meant to be there. Some of those people, you're just meant to have a conversation with them. And some of those people, you're meant to just give absolutely nothing to. And that is completely on you. Don't ask me what to do. That's on you, because that's a test. And I can't give you the answers to your own test. I feel like most of you will definitely pass. But yeah, it's like going to be like a couple of weeks. And I see some of y'all saying that you've already been seeing this. It's going to be like a few weeks. Like I feel like starting tomorrow. I can confidently say starting tomorrow, it's going to be a couple of weeks of just back to back, like things happening and stuff that you're just like, ooh, I don't even want to look, baby. Ooh, I don't even want to look. Because it's like, it's not going to be pretty. Okay, it's not going to be pretty. And I feel like there's even people who want to come like approach you with drama. Y'all, please meditate. Meditate as much as you possibly can these next couple of weeks, because you really need to stay grounded. You gotta chill, because I feel like there's people who are very angry. They want to come at you with something, and you gotta like, okay, sit pretty. Even if you're a man, stay on your throne. Okay, stay on your throne. Don't get off of it. This is not the time for that. Okay, like you really, I honestly feel like I'm saying this because a lot of y'all have worked really hard on emotional regulation and emotional intelligence. I feel like a lot of y'all are doing a really good job at that, which is why I'm saying it. But this is just like a little reminder, because I totally get it. A lot of y'all have been in situations where you felt like your voice was taken from you. You couldn't stand up for yourself. And it's like now you're a little bit feisty. I feel like a lot of y'all are real feisty right now. You got a lot to say. Like you ready to fight. You ready to go off. You ready to like get into it with people. Don't do it. Okay, like move that energy somewhere else. Just because you feel like that does not mean that you need to act on that. Okay, that's what it means when it comes to controlling your emotions and regulating your emotions. Just because you feel that way does not mean that you need to act on it in that way. Maybe you just need to go to the gym. Maybe you just need to go for a run. Maybe you just need to dance. Maybe you need to scream into a pillow. Maybe you need to take up boxing classes. But don't box nobody. Don't put your hands on nobody, y'all. You're very close to getting what you want. And there's people who know that. Like if there's something like huge that you're about to get, and maybe you don't know, maybe you do, there is going to be people who are going to come towards you because they want to get you to basically self-sabotage yourself. They want to get you to ruin whatever this is. So they may want you to give up your freedom. So if they want to try you, like they feel like you're a hothead, or maybe that's who you were in the past. They want to try to get you out of character so you can give up your freedom, or you could lose a job, or whatever the case may be. Something like that. Like if you have a promotion coming up and they heard about it. Let's say, for example, one of your coworkers who doesn't like you has been targeting you. They were hanging out in the break room and they overheard somebody saying that you were the one picked for a promotion. And they don't want that to happen. They don't like you. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to get you out of character. They're going to try to stir up some drama, stir up some mess to see if they can stop you from getting this promotion. Okay? You got to understand that people who are like really lower level energies and who are acting in their lower self, they're going to do everything in their power to try to stop you. They're not giving up. These people are not going down without a fight. I want y'all to understand that. Just the same way that you are somebody who like, you don't give up, you're like relentless. Your enemies are relentless as well. So they're going to they're going down swinging. Like, they know they're going to lose, but they're not going to go out without a bang. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but Cersei, if you know, like, the last couple episodes of the last season of Game of Thrones, Cersei, she did not go out without a fight. Like, she went until she could not go anymore. And she looked stupid, but she kept, like, that's what y'all want y'all to understand. They know that they're on the losing side. That doesn't matter to them. They're still going to try you. They're still going to keep on trying to go out with the bang. Another thing that I'm getting, y'all, I've been talking to you guys about how a lot of your gifts are starting to strengthen. And there are going to be people who are going to really try to throw off your gifts. Like, for those of you specifically, if you have any of the clairs, or something have to do with your voice, or something have to do with your influence, they're going to try to siphon that from you, or they're going to try to throw you off in some type of way. They may even try to, because even on a practical level, people may try to put you in positions intentionally to try to look stupid. Okay, so for example, if you have some type of public platform, okay, because I know some of y'all, I've seen some of y'all's channels and y'all speak or whatever. Let's say that you go live, like I'm doing right now. People are going to be basically behind the screen, like trying to throw you off, like send negative energy your way, and like say things. They may try to chant and all types of stuff. That stuff is real. You know. People will try to do stuff like that while you are on live, because they want you to sound stupid. They want you to, like, not make sense, because they can't make sense of what you're saying, because they don't have the brain capacity. They don't have the ability to even understand what you are saying. So it's kind of like projection. They will watch you, and you could be saying something like super, like, wild and alien like and scientific and just like crazy, and you could be talking about like esoterics or like quantum mechanics or whatever you talk about, and they're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And that's throwing at you. That's like trying to send you negative energy, because they don't understand. Instead of just clicking off of your platform or your live, they want to sit there and just like, that doesn't make sense. Like, just keep sending you that energy over and over and over again, because they want to try to throw you off. Okay, this could be anything. Okay, this could be anything, and you got to be careful. These people know that you're empathic. They know that you pick up on energy very well. You got to be careful. Okay, please be careful. Let me see what y'all talking about. I believe I'm being called to speak. Speak, honey. Believing it is just as much as it being completely true. If you believe it, I feel like that goes beyond belief. That just means that you're called to it. So answer. Speak. Don't waste, don't, and I don't want to, like, I don't want to be like pushy, but I just want y'all to, like, act on fear sometimes. And I just saw 444, and if you know anything about 444, that's like an angel number of protection. That when you see 444, that's how you know your spirit guides, the divine, your angels are protecting you. So even if that's just for you, divine goddess, you're protected. You're going to be protected. Your gifts are protected. Your path is protected. God is just waiting on you. Okay, so if you're feeling called to speak, the angels are saying they're supporting you. And I promise I would not say that for no reason. Exactly. You cannot compete where you don't compare. I am having an amazing day. I hope y'all have an amazing day today too. I feel like this weekend was very significant for a lot of people. I feel like it wasn't even necessarily, I don't even feel like it was really like a huge major event. I feel like it was just kind of like when you wake up one day and you feel a shift in your energy. Like, it's not anything that happened. It's just you reaching this point in time, you coming to this date, September the 15th, you coming to this date. It was like, it's almost like it was written that something about when you reach this date, your life was going to change. Something different was going to happen. And for some of y'all, and I'm not saying some of y'all, I'm going to say y'all because I know there's people who watch me who like, they're karmic. So I'm going to say y'all. Some of y'all, it's not a good thing. I just want y'all to know that. And I feel like they know that. And if you don't, you're delusional. I already told y'all a while back, however you've been conducting yourself, whatever type of energy that you have been putting out into this world, expect that the next couple months. Expect that the next couple years. Simple. Don't get too caught up on the when, the why, the how, the where. Just know whatever you have been putting out is going to be given right back to you. So if you've been giving out love and support, and even if you've just been giving it to yourself, some of y'all, you're isolated, you don't even have anybody around you to give back to in that way. If you have been doing the work on yourself, if you've been working on your mental health, that is a sign of self-love. And we all know love is the highest vibration. So if you are spending time like really working on you and pouring into you and trying to break those generational curses, that is a sign of love for yourself. You are going to get that back. And don't try to say, try not to like, because I understand some of y'all like master manifestors. Be open to love and abundance in all forms. Don't limit yourself. Like, don't say, I want an extra $1,000 this month. Because God may be trying to give you 10,000. You know, like, that's just like a small example. But somebody, you're a little too specific with your manifestations. Be open to it in all forms. Like, say that I accept love in all forms. I accept abundance in all forms. Okay, Morim. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Morim. Hold on, y'all. Let me clean up. Let me take the trash out real quick. I don't like a dirty house. Anybody else? Thank you. I feel like time is actually speeding up. I feel like that too, but not all the time. I feel like a lot of times, sometimes it does feel like it's like a little time warp. And then other times, I feel like it's going slow. But I feel like everything is just divinely guided. It's always divine timing. I'm only putting down good energy, but I'm shutting down all the BS. As you should. As you should. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't think because you cussed somebody out today who played with you that you're going to get something bad's going to happen to you. That's not how that works. God knows your heart. He understands your heart. And that's really all that matters. God knows your intentions. You're not one of those people who out here just messing with people for no reason. Like, I'm talking about people who just, you target people for no reason. You mess with people for no reason. You sit around and discuss somebody who's not even thinking about you. You're not even relevant to their life. Like, that's what I'm talking about. People who just sit around and plot and plan and like lie on people and slander people and steal from people and just like, y'all know. Y'all are grown adults. You know if you've been doing right and if you've been doing wrong. Okay? I'm not talking about doing stuff that's human. I'm not just talking about that. Y'all know. I don't have to tell y'all. Some of y'all, like I said, you've already been giving a glimpse. This is not a joke. Y'all have already been getting a glimpse of what life has in store for you the next couple months and leading into 2025. You already know. I stay out the way on purpose. Exactly. I wouldn't have it no other way. I would not have it no other way. What's your name of your book? Where can I get it from? The UK. Hello, Annette. The name of my book is called Transmute Empower. I don't believe you can get it on my website. if you are in another country that's not the US, I'm trying to fix that, but you can get it on Amazon. So if you go on Amazon, type in Transmute and Empower, you can order it on there. I love and appreciate you in advance. I don't know if you can get it off Barnes & Noble in the UK, but you can most definitely get it on Amazon. Thank you, chosen for such a time as this. Thank you. This is also just another reminder for you guys, because I feel like some of y'all have been, some of y'all, just a few of y'all have been feeling very weird. That's not your energy. Call your power back to you. Literally just say it. And some of y'all, again, just meditate. Call your power back to you. Say it out loud. I call my energy and power back to me now. Just say it. Some of you have been feeling very weird. If you are not comfortable transmuting energy, or you don't know how to transmute energy, of course you can purchase my book where I teach you how to do that. But if you don't purchase it, at the very least, you need to return that energy to sender. How you do that is to literally say it. So if you call your power back to you, you can also say, I return any negative, low vibrational energy directly back to the sender. Okay? Your words have power. Okay? I call my energy back daily, honey. That's not even anything to play with. That's not it. Yes, in Jesus' name. Absolutely. That's nothing to even play with. Every day. I've been telling y'all that. Every day you need to call your energy back to you. Okay? Every single day. This is not a game. What's your name so I can find it easier? It's going to be Sydney Hopkins, but it's Sydney with a C. And you will see it on there. You also can click the link in my description box on this video, and it will take you, you'll see where it says where to buy my book. It'll say Amazon. Just click that link. It'll take you directly to it. And I'm the only person who has a book called Transmute and Empower. So I promise you it won't be hard to find. And it's like a blue and purple book cover. I have a book on American, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Okay, yeah, you can get it on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. What made you finally come on live? I just felt like it. I know I don't go live as much as I used to, but I just felt like going on live today. There's no particular reason. Your book is very enlightening. I start chapter 3 in the morning. Yes, I'm so happy you guys are liking it. And thank you so much to everybody who's been giving me reviews. That really means a lot to me. People who have been giving me reviews on Amazon, and my clients who do one-on-one sessions with me, they've been giving me reviews. I really appreciate that. I've been trying to like intentionally promote myself more, because in the past I never promoted myself. I just didn't. But now I'm like, okay, let me be intentional. I don't care if it gets on anybody's nerves. I need to start promoting myself more and more and more, because I deserve support. So I feel like maybe one of y'all also need to hear that. Promote yourself. You deserve support. You give a lot to this world. You have a lot to offer this world, and you give so much of yourself. You deserve support, period. When did you straighten your hair? I did the other day, actually. I posted a video about it on my vlog channel. You should go watch. Alright, I don't feel like I have anything else I want to say on the live. Everything else I want to say for a video. I do want to go back and touch on the divine masculine and divine feminine energy, because that's coming up strongly. I've been saying it for the past couple years that there's going to be a shift first with the divine feminine and then with the divine masculine. This has been a process and a journey that's been going on for a couple of years, specifically like 3 years, this new wave of initiates. And we are now moving into a time where mostly the divine masculines are shifting. And I say mostly the divine masculines because the divine feminines have already shifted. Typically, we are going to be the first ones to wake up. That's common how it happens. So I feel like, I don't even feel like, I know the divine feminines have already done their part. They've already done the bulk of the work. And now it's time for the divine masculines to do their part. And that's basically what's happening now. That's what's happening. It's very interesting. And you know what, y'all? Like, when we talk about like the divine feminine, divine masculine, every time I think about it, I feel like it's so much deeper than people truly understand. Because if y'all, because we talk about this before about music, right? And how I can say specifically, I'm a dude, but divine feminine. You're a feminine. You're not a divine feminine. I don't believe a man could be a divine feminine. I feel like you can be a feminine, but a divine feminine, you have to go through an initiation process to become that. And that doesn't, like, you can embody both energies of masculine and feminine, but to say you're a divine feminine, I would ask, why do you feel like you're a divine feminine? And this is not me attacking you or anything. This is not, I'm just genuinely curious. Why do you feel like what makes you a divine feminine? Because I feel like that's a very specific embodiment of a woman, of like a goddess type archetype. So I just wonder what makes you feel like that is what you embody instead of a divine masculine. And again, you can have balance of both, but when you throw the word divine into it, that changes it. It's not just about feminine and masculine. I'm talking about divine feminine and divine masculine. That's a different, it's because it's an initiation process that you go through to become that. I thought divine was term for female. No, divine is not. Because my divine masculine, she has to do her work now. So you feel like you're the man is the divine feminine, and you're, I guess I'm assuming you date women, she is the divine masculine. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, I feel like this process has been going on for a long time, and I feel like it's extremely deep. And I feel like it has a lot to do with family, authenticity, love. Those are like pretty much the most powerful things like in the universe. And I feel like specifically for my community, I can speak for my community because we see it all the time. We talk about it all the time. My community, people who look like me, we have seen for the last couple of years how they have intentionally planted seeds in our community to cause some type of gender war. It starts with our community first because our community is very influential and it trickles out into other communities. They've intentionally, through the music and through like programming in the media, cause a divide between male and female, feminine and masculine energy, not only within ourselves, but like through relationships. And doing that breaks up family, right? I feel like it was, sorry, I feel like that was intentional because during the time that they were doing it, y'all, during the exact same time that they were intentionally kind of changing the media, changing the music, changing things like that, that was the exact same time that this wave of divine feminines and divine masculines were going through their initiation process. And when you speak on like lower level energies and the devil, Satan, demons, whatever you want to call it, it's a battle, right? So if the enemy knows that you're going through initiation process specifically to come into union with your feminine or with your masculine, of course, their goal and what their plan and their strategy is to put stuff in the media, put stuff in the music, because the music is it's like soul food. Like they're going to intentionally put things out there in the atmosphere to throw you off while these masculines and these feminines are going through their initiation process. And the other thing about the enemy, they are aware of what tests are coming for us before we are aware a lot of times. So they have been preparing for this for a very long time. And the way they did it was they went after the masculines first, okay? There's something very significant about feminine energy this year. Specifically, it's something so significant this year, last year. I really feel like it's this year and last year. I feel like next year it's kind of like cut, like set in stone. They've been working on the masculine for decades, if you ask me. They've been intentionally targeting the masculine and making the masculine act in his lower nature, because we talk about the masculine has his own power and he has his own divinity, and there's a piece of that power that he can't truly get unless he goes through the feminine, right? My spiritual teacher even talked about that the other day. And she said it, and I was like, bruh, like I've been talking about this. It's like a huge confirmation. Yes, the masculine has a power. Yes, the masculine has divinity. He has a gift to give to this world, but he has to be reborn through the feminine to get all of his power. So they let y'all have y'all that little bit of power that y'all had. And I'm not saying small, like it's nothing insignificant. I'm saying it's not the whole thing. They let these masculines walk around with this power inside of them, but it's almost like they're not reaching divinity truly. They're not reaching their God-like state in consciousness, or they refuse to the feminine. The reason they don't want to have the union with the feminine is because they are told their entire lives not to. They're literally told that. It's not too many masculines who are raised on love and raised to believe that you need to be disciplined with your body and you need to be like careful who you lay down with. They're not telling y'all that. It's not really y'all's fault because they're not telling y'all that. Y'all are not raised like that. Y'all were raised to believe it's okay to be nasty and promiscuous and never keep your legs closed. Y'all were raised like that. Y'all were raised to believe it's okay for me to spread my seed around all these different women. It's okay for me to constantly release my seed, even if y'all are at home in your own privacy, doing what y'all do. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to keep it PG because, you know, I don't know who's watching, but y'all are constantly taught to be sexual beings every single day. That's what y'all do every single day. That's all y'all think about. Y'all are taught that, but acting that way keeps you away from your feminine. And not just some girl, some woman, but also the feminine side of yourself. You're not coming into union with yourself. You're not having your balance, your yin and your yang. There has to be some type of balance. So yeah, y'all got power. Y'all feel it. Y'all feel y'all power. That's the difference. I feel like masculines, most of them, depending on who they were raised by, but even then, I feel like y'all have always known y'all have a power. Y'all felt it in yourself. It's a man's world, right? That's what they told you. It's a man's world. And I feel like feminines wake up to our power a little bit later in life, because I feel like boys understand their power. I feel like it's not until a girl becomes a woman that she understands her power, her divinity, and who she really is to this world, because boys are raised up to believe that our semen gives us our masculine power. Holding on to your semen gives you your masculine power. Holding on to it. It's not just because it's just floating around in your body that you're powerful. Hold on to it and do something with that energy. And also, like I said, there's a piece of it that you cannot get until you come into union with your feminine, because the feminine births the masculine. But anyway, I feel like boys are like, y'all are brought into this world that you are like, this is your world. You can do no wrong. But women, girls, are brought into this world constantly critiqued, constantly put against each other. It's like constant just boom, you got to do this, you got to be this, don't do this, don't do this, do that, don't do it too much. Like it's like women are like constant battle. Like be perfect, don't be perfect. Be beautiful, not too beautiful. Like it's constant. So it's like we have to go through a different process to gain our power and our divinity. But once we get it, honey, oh, it's no taking it. It's no taking it from us. So I said all that to say that I feel like this has been the process that we have been going through. And if you're paying any attention to mainstream media, because I need some of y'all, which I feel like a lot of y'all in here already know, but it's like, it's crazy how other people don't see it. Like, put your thinking caps on. Why do you, this is not just, oh, this is just how the world is. It's just how it is. It's never just how the world is. Everything is intentional. Everything is intentional from day one. Everything is intentional. They have intentionally planted these seeds for decades because they knew that this time was coming. They knew this divine feminine rising was coming. And once that divine feminine steps into her power, honey, as she has already done, the masculines have no choice but to conform and submit. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, masculines don't submit, the feminine submits. Actually, they both submit to each other, but they submit in different ways. The time is now. The time is now, honey. Like, they don't have a choice but to conform. They don't have a choice but to grow up. Because a lot of y'all, if I get down like on a practical level, a lot of y'all, you and your masculine specifically, I heard this saying by the Dalai Lama, the world will be saved by the Western woman. Interesting. The Dalai Lama, that's very interesting. What was I going to say? Oh, y'all have your unions with your masculines. I'm seeing 222. Please don't ever play with me. Like, y'all already know what 222 means. But when y'all are having your union with your masculines, and dang, I just kind of got threw off a little bit. It'll come back to me. I basically was going to say something like on a practical level. Oh, I know what I was going to say. At the time, because your masculine was unhealed, a lot of divine masculines were harmed too. Yeah, they were. And it's like, it's so intentional. It's so intentional. But at the time that you had your first encounter with your masculine, he was not healed. And it's not that the feminine was healed when she had her encounter with her masculine. It's not that she was healed, because I feel like a lot of the feminines can look back to a time, if you have healed a lot and gone through the process of the last couple of years, you can look back to that time when you met your masculine and you are completely different than you are now. Like, you look back on that person like, oh, that was kind of like a little girl. I wasn't even my best self yet. Like, I wasn't even my best. But you recognized his divinity. You recognized it in him. And at the time, you felt like, well, I recognize it in him. Why doesn't he recognize it in him? And why doesn't he recognize it in me? But that's not how it's supposed to go. Unfortunately, it's not supposed to go like that. So at the time, yeah, like, you saw it in him. He didn't see it in himself, and he didn't, even if he did see it in you, it was like everything that he's ever been taught was, there's no possible way that something like you can even exist. He was told that something like you does not exist. So when he came across you, he dismissed it. He played with it. You, not it. He fumbled you because he was not raised on your type, like, to know that you are that type of woman, that what a divine feminine really is. He just was told, yeah, if she looks, because a lot of y'all look good, okay, let's like, I've seen y'all Instagrams. A lot of y'all feminines are gorgeous. Y'all are beautiful. So you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you may be very successful, you're smart, but you're intimidating. And he was raised that, it reminds me of that song by Juice WRLD, All Girls Are the Same. If anybody hasn't heard that song, listen to that. That's basically how masculines are raised. All girls are the same. Because this one girl, she was pretty, she was smart, she was successful, she hurt me. So that means that every single girl that's just like that, or woman, is going to be the same way. And if I don't want to be hurt, I just need to dog her. I just need to not do right by her, because it's not possible for me to be loved. Because a lot of them were not loved by their mothers. A lot of their mothers were cold-hearted and did not love them properly. And the father may or may not have been in the home. Or a lot of these masculines, the father was in the home and the mother treated them like they were the husband. They were the boyfriend. And that's just the role that they played. So when they came across you, they've never seen anything like you before. They didn't even know anything like you existed. And the part of them knew, like their higher self knew, that you were the real deal, but it's just their ego, something in them is just like, no, I can't experience that type of pain. I can't experience that type of hurt. I'm not deserving of this type of love. So they usually run. That's usually what they do. And that process is very important because it gives the feminine the opportunity to know her worth and add tax at that, okay? And that's the funny part about it, because when the feminine knows her worth, she's not just gonna know her worth, she's gonna add tax. So it makes it that much harder for the masculine to get her back once he realizes and goes through his process. Oh, this was the one. She may not be there. Like, y'all gotta understand, these initiations do not mean that you're going to be with that person. That person still served their purpose, though. They still helped you grow and evolve as a woman. They still helped you grow and evolve as a man. They still serve their purpose. That doesn't mean that y'all are going to ride off into the sunset. That doesn't always happen like that. But it doesn't mean that you're never going to have somebody. You're going to have somebody because you deserve that, because you did the work on yourself. It was just for that person to trigger that process in you. You needed that. And you can admit that. I needed that person to help me grow. I needed that person to help me see my worth. Because if I never would have ran across her, if I never would have run across him, I never would have even felt a love like this, a love so powerful that it made me want to do better. Like, she made me want to do better. She made me want to, like, the thought of losing her, like, that just, I can't even bear the thought of her not being in my life. Or he made me want to be a better woman. He made me realize, because a lot of women feel like, that they can do no wrong. Most women feel like they're damn near perfect. They don't have to work on anything. But running across this one guy was like, okay, I'm not Miss Perfect. I got work I need to do on myself. I gotta be the type of woman who can even, like, be deserving of a man like this. I want to make sure, I want to make this right. I want to make this work. And a lot of times for the feminine, it doesn't even happen like that. Like, I feel like I'm picking up on energy for a couple of different people, especially the feminines. For some of you, yeah, that was what it was about for you. But for some of y'all feminines, it wasn't about that. I feel like it was more so about yourself. Like, you recognize your own worth. Like, when this masculine hurt you, or really you could say you hurt yourself, when that happened, it made you value yourself anymore, because I feel like it's something about your inner child. Like, you felt the hurt and pain from the little girl inside of you. And some of you, it could have been your father. Like, maybe your father wasn't around, or maybe he was in and out, or maybe he hurt you, abused you, harmed you in some type of way, and you felt that pain, even if you didn't realize it. Like, it took you back to a place where you felt pain with your own father, or whoever your father figure who raised you, for the feminine specifically. And you're like, no, like, she doesn't deserve that. Like, the little girl in you, she doesn't deserve that. I'm not putting her through that again. We're not doing this again. Like, you turned into, like, mama bear for yourself, basically. We're not doing that again. This little girl has experienced so much pain and so much hurt in her life. You think I'm gonna let this boy or this man come along and just stop on her heart? Like, no. Get up. We're gonna pick ourselves up, and we're gonna do it for us. We're going to heal, okay? That's what we're going to do. It's not over for you, because I feel like a lot of you felt like when you experienced that pain, because it could have been like your first heartbreak, or it could have been a pain that you never felt before. It was a lot. Like, I feel like I can feel that. Like, my chest hurts. I feel your pain. Maybe not the same way that you do, but I feel it. Like, that hurt. but it hurt you so bad it made you want to get yourself together and like, all right, I love me too much. Like, no. So it wasn't always about the masculine for some of y'all. A lot of times it was about just you, just the little girl in you. You did it for her. You didn't do it for him. And even if you did, that's okay. It was meant to be that way. But I feel like everybody has like their own reason why they are doing what they're doing. But it took this encounter with this soulmate, this masculine, this feminine, for you to grow. Even if y'all are not together, because some of y'all, you're gonna forgive your counterpart, but you don't want to be with them because too much has happened. And y'all are in, it's like you're not even the same person. And that's why you got to be careful. Because the version of you that fell in love with that masculine, you're not that version anymore. So it's like, how can I be with you after all of that? Like, I appreciate you. I love you even. I forgive you and I'm grateful for you, but I can't be with you. Some of y'all are going to choose to be with somebody that you don't have to heal from, and that's okay. That is your right. Especially like for even like Black women. And I'm saying this because our trauma runs extremely deep. You don't have to struggle to be with anybody. You don't have to like get cheated on over and over again and get abused over and over again to have love. You can most definitely, there is someone out there for you, and make sure that you continue to align yourself with that. It's going to take probably therapy. It's going to take shadow work. It's going to take a lot, okay? Because our pain and our trauma runs hundreds of years back. There is somebody for you if you decide today that, Native women too, there's somebody for you if you decide today that I am going to be with somebody I don't have to heal from. My counterpart is somebody who, it wasn't a second thought. It wasn't a second guess. This masculine just came in and did right. He didn't have to go through this initiation process and fight demons just to do right by me. And it's not saying that your union with that person is going to be perfect. It just means that they're not going to hurt you a million times and cheat on you a million times. Be like, oh yeah, I love her, she the one. No. But you have to decide that and know that you deserve that. Because a lot of women don't, Black and brown women don't feel like they deserve that because they don't think it's possible. And I also want to say this because I heard this the other day, and it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was a podcast. I don't know what it's called, y'all. I don't know what it's called, but it was really, really good. It was this this dating coach or something. He said something that was very interesting. Black and brown women need to learn to date outside of our race because we're holding ourselves back from somebody that could really do right by us because we're so loyal to a race of men who isn't loyal to us. And yeah, we're having a divine masculine rising, and there's going to be divine masculines in our own races who are going to rise to the occasion and become better, but you don't got to be standing there waiting for them when they do. Let somebody else have them. I just want to know, I don't know who that's for, but it's okay to date outside your race. That's okay. Not everybody's going to agree with that, and that's fine. Everybody has an opinion, but if I'm called to say something, I'm going to say it. You can date outside your race. Don't let our race of men hold us hostage, because you got to understand, specifically for Black and brown women, our masculines have a lot of work to do. And it's going to take time because the trauma runs back so deep. And I feel like, again, the feminines have done a lot of the work. And I know social media makes it seem like that's not the case, but social media is not real. In the real world, the feminines are doing the work. So just keep that in mind. Keep your options open. Okay, you don't have to date within your race. I don't care what your race is. You don't have to do that. Oh, okay. I'm a black man working. I'm sorry, I need to delete this. I'm a black man working on fixing the damage that has been done. I'm proud of you, boo. I'm proud of you. As long as you're continuing to work on that, don't let anybody hold your past over your head. Keep going. Keep making progress. Even if you making that progress by yourself, keep making it. Because it's very rare for a lot of men like you to acknowledge that, first of all. Just to acknowledge that and take responsibility is a true sign of leadership. You cannot call yourself a leader if you do not take accountability. It's for you specifically to say, I recognize what I have done and I recognize it in my brothers, but I'm willing to take responsibility for it. That is a sign of leadership. And I know there's going to be a lot of people around who are not doing it, but that's not your problem. Like, I see somebody saying statistically they're not working on anything. That's fine. But again, it's going to take time. Like I said, you don't have to wait for nobody to do anything. All you need to do is work on yourself. Just work on yourself. You cannot save everybody. You working on yourself might save the next person. Even if it saves one person, work on yourself. That's fine if statistics are saying such and such. Who cares? You got to have enough common sense to know there's someone out there working on themselves. That's fine. Because even one person doing that can help the next generation. And that's what it's about. So if it's not a strong number of them right now, that's fine. But it's enough where it could help the next generation. And maybe the next generation. And maybe the next generation. That's what it's about. You can't help everybody. You can't save everybody. And I'm not too hung up on statistics. That doesn't really matter to me. And I rather put out energy into the world of love towards these masculines and these feminines, because they can say the same thing about women. That they can say that these feminines now are trash and they just want men for their money and they just want to be 304s. They can say the same thing because that's what social media is telling us. That doesn't matter. I'm going to send love to these feminines because I know there's feminines out here who are doing the work. And I'm going to send love to these masculines because I know it's some masculines out here who are doing the work. But if I feed into the bitterness that is spreading through my community specifically, that's not going to help anything. We just talked about the feminine versus the divine masculine. We hold the power first. They may have power, but we got it first. So let's change. My phone's gonna die. But let's change the thought process. Let's change the thought process. We know, because you're not gonna sit up on my live and call yourself spiritual and call yourself chosen if you don't know that the mind is very powerful. And what you think, you can create. Thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic, correct? Y'all said y'all know that. So if y'all know that, stop being bitter. Stop being bitter. I understand trauma. I understand pain. I done seen it all. Y'all, I done seen it all. I've seen it. So I feel you. We can acknowledge that. We can totally acknowledge that. But stop with the bitterness. That's going to kill you. Because that bitterness turns into resentment, and that resentment turns into stress. It's going to kill you. That's what they want. Because that's one less feminine on this earth that will wake up another masculine. And I'm not saying like it's never no pick me nothing. It's never that. Because it's never that. But just stop being bitter. Stop being so like, if you have an idea of what you want, if you have an idea of something that, if you're a feminine who dates masculines, if you have an idea of that, what do these other little funky masculines who are not doing the work have to do with you? That don't got nothing to do with you, because you already decided, I want this. I want a leader. I deserve a leader. I want a protector. I deserve a protector. I want a provider. I deserve a provider. That is out here. But as long as you stay bitter and resentful and are constantly stuck on what these like hypothetical men are doing that you don't even know, you're not going to get that because you're being bitter. So stop being so bitter and just get better and focus on yourself. Focus on healing your mother wounds and your father wounds. Heal yourself, become the woman that you want to be. You really like we're talking about divine masculine energy, but I'm talking about on a spiritual level. That's not really your issue right now. Because if we want to be honest, yeah, we feminines, we done woke up and we're doing our thing. We're doing our big one. Shout out to y'all, okay? Because these feminines have been putting in mad work. But the work is not done. And the whole point of the journey is not just to have a man and come into union with the masculine. It's really about coming in union with yourself, your highest self, your lowest self, and the version of you that you are today. So focus on that. Just focus on whatever is going to make you a phenomenal, amazing, gorgeous, successful, intelligent goddess that you are. Focus on that. And I promise you, if you do that, whatever you want, whether you date feminines, masculines, whatever, is going to come to you. But if we spend so much time being bitter and pointing the finger, that's not going to help anything. It's not going to help anything. And some of y'all are not ever going to get it. Never. Some people in your communities are never going to get it. They're going to die like that. They're going to die being bitter towards the opposite sex because they need somebody to blame, because they refuse to do the work on themselves and forgive their mothers and forgive their fathers. Don't be that person. Forgive your mother, forgive your father, forgive yourself, and just glow up. Just glow up. Cry about it, vent about it, talk about it, but also recognize, all right, let me get back to work. Because that's the balance of life. It's the ups and the downs. I get it. I understand. It may even be times where you sit and you're like, oh, I hate him. My God, I hate him. Oh, he makes me so mad. I just can't believe he did that. Or this girl just will not act right. Like, ugh. Like, I'm just done. I just can't believe she did that to me. Like, you're going to feel like that because you're human. But we're not dwelling in that. We're just recognizing, okay, this is a human emotion. For some reason, this is coming up right now. For some reason, there's something inside me that's like, oh, I hate him. But that's just you being human. So when you're done feeling like that, go back to your goddess energy. Go back to sitting on your throne, okay? For some reason that came up. All right, it came up. All right, move on. Back to working on me. Back to being divine. Emotional regulation. That's what needs to be taught in the communities. And if everybody just works on themselves, individually, and loves themselves, you're going to look at other people like, you hurt, ain't you? You done been through some things. Yeah, you can't always be spiritual. You got to have your balance, 100%. I always say that. Got to find your balance. Don't go too far out of this world. You got to come back to earth sometime because you live here, 100%. But find your balance, okay? Find your balance. That's what life is about. Everybody work on themselves. And when you love yourself, you will love other people and you will recognize them for who they are. You're just acting out of trauma. You are not you. You are your trauma. You are your inner child. You are a broken little girl. You are a broken little boy. And until you heal that, that's what you're always going to be. Silence is powerful. Okay, remember that the rest of this month. Silence is powerful. Like I said, they're gonna come try you. They're gonna try to get a reaction out of you. She not healed. She said she's spiritual now. She said she done found Jesus, y'all. She not healed. Watch this. I got some news to tell her. I got something that's gonna watch what I do. Cause I know I used to know her, and she was a hothead. I used to know him. He used to go from 0 to 1,000. Watch this. Don't give him a show. The only show you need to be giving them is this glow up that you're about to go through, okay? Exactly. Respond, don't react. That is emotional intelligence. It's not your lack of a response, it's how you respond. There's a way you can destroy someone by saying nothing and just saying a little bit. You can destroy them. Literally, like putty in your hands. Especially people who are acting in their ego and they are just they're fiending for a reaction like drugs. Some of y'all got some karmics, like exes. They're fiending for you like a drug. Let them self-destruct, exactly. Don't just say nothing. Like, that's why you gotta meditate, y'all. You gotta meditate. You gotta stay grounded. You gotta stay focused. Like, this journey, like, it's not about constantly healing and constantly, like, doing shadow work. It's about doing it consistently. Not constantly, consistently. And with intention. Some days you're gonna do nothing, and that's okay. Some days you just want to lay in bed, watch a little TV, read a book, paint, or just take a nap all day. That's okay. That doesn't change anything. You don't feel like you gotta constantly be doing all of these things all the time. No, just be consistent. Make sure that you are showing growth. That's all that matters. Show growth. I seen a post earlier today that said the scariest thing to be, or the scariest place to be, is the same place you were last year. I don't care if the only thing you can do is work on your mental health. It doesn't mean that you need to have a new car every year, a new house every year, a new person every year. It just means you have to be showing some type of growth. Even if all the growth you have done was just go to therapy or writing your journal, like learn a new language, something different needs to happen from last year. Even if you go backwards a little bit. Because even if you do go backwards, because not every year is going to be perfect, life happens. That just means that you moved. You didn't stay the same, you moved. And that's okay, because even if you go backwards, you still have the opportunity to go forward. Just grow, okay? Just grow. That's all that really matters. But I'm about to hop out the live. I love y'all. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night or morning or evening, wherever you are. I will see you guys soon. I don't know when I'm gonna get back on live, but I have messages coming for y'all like always. Some things I have picked up on. Y'all go follow my TikTok. Y'all subscribe to my other channel. Like, share, comment. All of the things that y'all do to support me for free really help me do this more and more and more. So I just appreciate y'all so much, okay? I really do, okay? And I have some news, but I'm not going to say anything about it. For those of you who want to buy my book, check the description box. I also tagged the book in the shopping tag or whatever. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on my website. If you buy it on my website, it's going to be a signed copy from me. You can buy it on Barnes & Noble, wherever you want to buy it from. Even if you don't buy it, it doesn't matter. I still love y'all. But y'all have a great rest of your night, okay? Bye.